What were they opening? I didn't ask you, oh, they're opening the original Torah, the original Injil. What was that? What are they opening in the 7th century that was known as the Torah and the Gospel that the Quran is talking about? What was it?
The one the Quran is talking about is the original Injil.
Get out. Drop, please.
Did you
just drop.
All right.
Peace.
Hello amazing viewers, welcome to Religious Insights. In this video with GodLogic, a Muslim tries his best to quote GodLogic and also to defeat him in this debate. Let's watch this video if he was able to achieve his aim.
You said?
What tafsir are you talking about? Ibn Kathir's tafsir?
Ibn Kathir.
Okay. Oh yeah, when Ibn Kathir quotes Ibn Abbas on this, he talks about how they wrote another book. They wrote another book.
Oh, okay. So did they say it is distorted?
No.
They did not?
No, the verse doesn't say that the scriptures are distorted. It says, woe to those who write the book with their own hands, claiming it's from God, seeking a small price. And he quotes Ibn Abbas, who is saying that they distorted and changed their books. How? Right? How? They distort with their tongues elsewhere, Ibn Abbas says. But he also says that they wrote another book.
Distorting with tongue is not this particular verse. It's another verse. I'm talking of this verse.
Yeah, when it says that when he quotes them and it says they wrote another book. If you write another book, that doesn't mean that the book that's original is corrupted, right?
Okay, can we quickly check what it says?
Sure, if you want.
I have a second device today. I think I can quickly check it because I know it says it is distorted. Just a second. 2 verse 79 tafsir Ibn Kathir. All right. Okay. يعلمون الكتاب. Okay. Sorry, I hope I'm not wasting your time. Just a second.
I have it here if you want me to just read it for you.
You said?
Yeah, I have it here if you just want me to read it for you.
Okay. You can read it.
All right. So it says, woe to those who write the book with their own hands and then say this is from Allah to purchase with it a little price. This is another category. This is another category of people among the Jews who call to misguidance with falsehood and lies about Allah, thriving on unjustly amassing people's property. Woe carries meaning of destruction and perishing, and it is a well-known word in the Arabic. Azuri said that Ubaydullah bin Abdullah narrated that Ibn Abbas said, O Muslims, how could you ask the people of the book about anything, while the book of Allah that he revealed to his prophet is the most recent from him, and you still read it fresh and young? Allah told you that the people of the book altered the book of Allah and changed it and wrote another book with their own hands. They then said this book is from Allah. So this fake book that they wrote with their own hands, they're claiming that fake book is from Allah. Then they said, oh, I'm sorry, I just read that part. So that they might acquire a small profit by it. Hasn't the knowledge that came to you prohibited you from asking them by Allah? We have not seen any of them asking you about what was revealed to you. This hadith was collected by Bukhari, yada, yada, yada.
Okay. So if you said that, the Quran says Allah have revealed the Quran to Prophet Muhammad so that he will make what the people of the scripture hide in their scripture. What the people of the scripture hide from their scripture.
What does it have to do with textual corruption?
Like if maybe there is a message in the previous scripture and maybe you didn't reveal it,
Yeah,
is that
so
corruption?
no, it's not. It's the person who's just lying about what the text says. Like, for example, you know the story of the Jews coming to Muhammad for judgment, and he tells them follow what the Torah says. But one of the Jews, when they brought the Torah, was trying to hide what the verse said in the Torah. He covered the verse with his hand. You know that story?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that's an example of him hiding what the text says.
Okay, if you read the tafsir of that verse, I think it's Surah Al-Ma'idah chapter number 5, verse number 15. It talks about how the people of the scripture hide what is written in the scripture. They quote this particular hadith of stoning. And again, if you read At-Tanwir,
That's two different contexts. 543 is the one I was
Yeah,
talking about.
oh, okay, I'm talking about 515.
I know. You're saying that they hide it. Hiding is not the same
Yeah.
as textual corruption. That's what I'm saying. I just gave you an example of somebody trying to hide what the verse says. It doesn't mean that verse was no longer in the book or that the verse was changed. They just tried to hide it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay, what I'm saying, if you read the At-Tanwir min Tafsir Ibn Abbas, he says, "O people of the scripture."
He doesn't have a
now
tafsir.
our messenger. I'm not saying Ibn Abbas, like, I'm not saying Tafsir Ibn Abbas. I say At-Tanwir. There is a book called At-Tanwir
Yeah, I know.
min Tafsir Ibn Abbas.
Yeah, it's attributed to Ibn Abbas as a tafsir. It's not
So
from
if
him.
you
It's not from Ibn Abbas. That's my point. Or else I would have been using that source all day.
Okay, like what I'm going to read now, maybe you don't accept it.
No, it's not that I don't accept it. Muslims don't accept it, bro. That's why I don't use it. Because they say it's weak and it's not from Ibn Abbas. It's attributed to him, but that's not from him.
But you did not even hear what I said about what I'm going to read.
It doesn't matter. You're reading from a source that is not attributed. That is not from Ibn Abbas. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not from Ibn Abbas. So what you're going to read out of it is irrelevant or has no weight. If it did, I'd go ahead and let you use it, and you would see a lot of videos or live streams where I use it myself.
Okay. So okay, let me keep it aside. So now let's come to the logical part of it. Let me keep it aside.
Okay.
So logically, now that you said Quran confirms the Bible, yet Quran contradict the Bible. Is that logical?
Yes, it means that the Quran is false. That's the logical conclusion.
Okay, but could there be a reason? Let's say GodLogic, you have written a book. You have maybe written a book, 2 books, and you confirm that book. Then I bring a different book, and someone check that book and see something contradicting from what you have written. Could there be a possibility that that book is not the same thing as what you, GodLogic, have written?
Nope, because you have evidence of the contrary. You have all of history that points to the books that you have, and then you have this later book that comes and says that it lines up and confirms that existing book, but then when we read it, we see that it contradicts it. So it's that latter book's fault, not the previous book.
So logically, there is no any possibility whatsoever if Quran claim
No, it's not.
confirm the previous scripture and yet it contradicted whatsoever. There is no possibility that that particular scripture it says it confirmed is not the actual scripture it's talking about.
Nope.
Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, it's impossible. Matter of fact, the Quran even quotes what I have, so it's impossible.
Okay. I don't want to actually argue too much with you, but it's fine.
All right, so is that it? Is that where we're at? We're landing it there?
Yeah, I think that's the topic is Quran confirms the Bible. So I think that's the limit of our discussion. Should not go beyond that.
So you could
But
follow the logical conclusion that the Quran is confirming a book that it contradicts, which means that the Quran is false, logically.
not really. It could be Quran is that book that you are talking about is not the book the Quran is talking about.
And
Could be.
what see and that's the problem that you have, man. When you're saying it could be that, let me just ask you this first before I ask this second question. So you do see the logic in what I'm in my argument, that if the Quran is contradicting a book it confirms, then the Quran is false. That logically follows, right?
Yeah, if that book that it contradicts is actually the book it's talking about, then the logic follows.
Okay. So then I guess the next part here, if you're saying that it could be that this isn't the book that the Quran is talking about, how would you demonstrate that?
Because the Quran gave, for example, the Quran gave examples of that book that it's talking about. It gave some description of that book.
It gave some descriptions of the book. Well, those would just be contradictions that follow, right? It's contradicting the book it confirms.
It gave description of the book it confirmed.
No. It talks about a book it confirms. And in its descriptions of these books or examples of what these books are talk about, it contradicts them. This is the whole problem. So how would you demonstrate that? Well, it's not really contradicting the book it's talking about, because what it's talking about is not what you have. So how would you show that? How would you show that there's actually this other phantom Torah and Injil that actually the Quran is really talking about, that no one has possession of and ever seen, read, touched?
Okay, what I'm saying is the Quran says it confirms the previous scripture, number one. Number two, the Quran gave the description of this previous scripture. So if you want to look for that book that the Quran confirmed, then you should look for a book that have this description.
All right, you know what?
If you see a book that doesn't have the description, then it's not the one the Quran is talking about.
You know what one of the descriptions is?
For example, it says
No. I want to give you an example that came to my mind. You want to know what one of the descriptions is? It says that it's with them. It's with the Jews and the Christians. That's one of the descriptions that it gives. So in the 7th century, the Jews and the Christians had possession of the Torah and the Gospel. What was that they had in the 7th century?
Yeah, there could be part of the original gospel as at that time.
Part of the original gospel that's at that time.
Yeah.
So what would that be? And what in the 7th century? What were they opening up and saying? Yeah, this is the gospel.
Yeah, that is what I said. Maybe in the 7th century, there could be, number one, original gospel, and there could be people holding maybe a distorted one.
The Quran doesn't say that. It says that they have the gospel with them and they have the Torah with them. So the Quran isn't talking about a distorted Torah or a distorted gospel, is it? That is confirmed.
Okay. You are the one that helped me write a book that part of the people of the book, they have written a scripture, a different book. Yeah. So there could be those different books.
Yeah, but is it called the Torah or the gospel?
Yeah, they claim the books to be, even though it is not.
Was it claimed the Torah or the gospel?
Yeah, they claim the book is the Injil, because the verse of
no, they don't. So let's stop here, because let's talk about what your Quran says. Let's talk about what your Quran says, please. This is where I cannot understand. I mean, I do. I get it. I get why you guys do this with your own book. because you have to. In order, like you can't let the Quran speak for itself and adhere to the words of the Quran, or else Islam falls. So I get why you guys have to do this. Your Quran doesn't say they claim it's the Injil that's with them. Your Quran doesn't say nothing like that. It says the Injil and the Torah are with them. So the Quran is claiming that what they have is the Torah and is the Injil. Not that they claim it is. Allah himself says it is. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, can I talk now?
Sure. So
The verse we,
talk to that point. Allah's the one who says they have it, right?
yeah.
Okay, so
The verse we read at the beginning of the program from chapter 2, verse 79, talking about the people of the scripture, which you read and you said they are writing a different book. The people of, and they claim that book is from Allah. Which book is given to the people of the scripture and claim it is from Allah? Which book is that?
the Talmud in its context. Because in 279 it's not even talking about
Did
the
you say
Christians.
the Talmud?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, that's what I
Talmud
said.
from God?
No, it's
They
not.
said the Talmud is.
Hold on, excuse me. Yes, they say the Talmud is from God. Yes, the Jews, the rabbinic Jews. Yes.
Okay, the Quran did not talk about Talmud is from God. It talks about Injil and Torah from God.
Right,
And we are talking
but hold on now. This verse talks about what they claim is from God, not what the Quran says is from God, but what they, the Jew, these Jews claim is from God.
I'm also talking about claim here. Even at the time
Whose
of the
claim are you
Prophet-
talking about? Please, whose claim are you talking about?
What I'm saying now, at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, that
Whose claim are you talking about? I am asking you direct questions. Whose claim are you talking about? Allah's claim in the Quran or the people's?
both, I'm talking about the two.
Okay, so what does Allah claim is from God?
Allah claimed the Injil is from God.
And the Torah,
You
right?
said, yeah.
Okay.
And you said there were people of the scripture that write a book and claim that book also
I
is
didn't
from
say
God.
that. That's what your Quran, you read that from your Quran in 279.
Yeah,
It says, woe to those who
using-
write the scripture with their own hands, claiming it's from God. So they write another book. Ibn Abbas said it, as you read it. They said they wrote another book and claimed that it was from God, trying to sell it for a small price. So does the Quran call this other book that they wrote, that they're claiming from God, does Allah in the Quran say that that's from God? Or is that what they're
My
saying?
point is what they are saying.
Got
but
it.
The point here is in the 7th century, there could be these two different books.
Okay, so
available.
in the 7th century, you have what is the Torah, and you have the gospel, and then you also have this other book that they wrote with their own hands, and they say it's from God. That's different from the Torah and the gospel, correct?
Yes, but they
Got
claim
it.
that book is from
So
God.
what was they?
and the book that
I got
was,
you. What were they opening up? That was the Torah and the gospel.
Okay, so they are opening the original Torah and the gospel, and there are a set of people opening a distorted book, which we talked about, which they claim that book is from God, and we agree the book that was given to the people of the scripture
you're trying my
during
patience.
their
Isn't it?
time.
You're trying my patience. I'm asking you one last time. If you can't answer this, man, just drop, please. What were they opening? I didn't ask you. Oh, they're opening the original Torah, the original Injil. What was that? What are they opening in the 7th century that was known as the Torah and the Gospel that the Quran is talking about? What was it?
The one the Quran is talking about is the original Injil.
Get out. Drop, please. I don't,
Did you get-
just drop.
All right.
Peace.
Okay, welcome back, guys. I believe you enjoyed watching this video. Let us know your views in the comment section. In case you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Hit the notification button to be notified each time we post new and amazing videos like this. And also don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family and subscribe to the channel for more engaging videos like this. The fact that Muslims need the Hadith to explain the Quran is enough proof that the Quran does not explain everything in details as it claims. If the Quran needs other books for its clarity, then it shouldn't be called a guide for all mankind. I think the reason why most Muslims think that Christians distort and twist their books is because they have done that so many times with their own book. So they believe since they have done that with their own Quran, then it is possible Christians have also done that with their own Bible. But that was, is, and will never be the case. Christians doesn't have the right to distort their books. So in case you as a Muslim, if you have done that with your books, maybe your Hadith or your Quran, Christians don't do that with their own Bible. And I believe this is a case of insecurity because they have done that with their own book. They believe every other person is doing the same thing with their own books. To be honest with you, sometimes it is exhausting listening to these guys. He kept going in cycle without any substantial substance to his argument. He kept going around in one cycle, bringing the same argument, bringing up the same illustration, but yet there was no substance to his argument. The reason no Christians would want to take a text from the scripture is in the book of Revelation chapter 22 verse 19, where the Bible was speaking and it said, "And if anyone takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God will take away his part from the tree of life and from the holy city which are written in the book." So the book of Revelation has already told us what will happen if anyone distorts or take away any information from the Bible. So it has been an inbuilt in every Christian never to mess up or take away any message from the Bible, because your path, your Lord will be taken away from the book of life. So nobody wants to end up in hell. So nobody will want to tamper with the Bible. So you can see that no Christian want to take such a risk by distorting the Bible. Guys, I believe this video has opened your eyes to a lot of truth about Islam and also about Christianity. So let's know your views about this video in the comment section. Don't forget to share it with your friends and your family. Subscribe to the channel for more engaging videos like this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in our next video.